Performing questioning and debriefing techniques. Debriefing is the intentional deliberation done after a simulated experience or an actual task. It helps participants have a clear understanding of what they did, how they did it, and what they thought of to further learning outcomes and improve clinical performances in the future. The healthcare industry makes use of various types of debriefing techniques and models. Here are some of the essential elements that help ensure the safety and efficacy of the debriefing environment. Ensure psychosocial safety. Provide a supportive environment free of negative consequences to self-image, social standing, and career trajectory to optimize learning outcomes. This must be ensured during the pre-simulation briefing and during the actual briefing.
Okay, hello everyone and welcome to our debriefing session. Before we start, I just want to say that this is a safe space and anything that we'll say here will not affect your position in this institution.
Adopt a debriefing stance or basic assumption. A basic assumption is used to make the participant's environment psychologically safe for learning. An example of a predefined basic assumption statement is,
we believe that all of us here is capable and that we all want to improve our jobs to give our best to our clients.
Establish the briefing rules. Include that the discussion is confidential and encourage the active participation of the participants.
So before we start, let's establish some rules first. First, we must respect each other. Wait for someone to finish speaking before we say our comments. Next, everything that we'll be talking about here is confidential. That means that we can share to anyone outside of this room anything that we'll be talking about. Lastly, I encourage everyone to share their insights and ideas. Okay? So are we ready to start?
Establish a shared mental model. Review the event details with the facilitator's input.
The first thing that we do in wound dressing is introducing ourselves to the client and explaining the process and the purpose. Next, we make sure that the client is in a comfortable position and we review our care notes. Then we perform hand hygiene, clean the workstation, and prepare the tools and materials that we'll be needing. Then we perform hand hygiene again and wear our PPE before removing the old wound dressing.
Address key learning objectives. Detail the learning objectives during the briefing.
Our objective here is to change the client's wound dressing properly and in a timely manner, and in accordance with our infection control procedures.
Use open-ended questions. Doing so facilitates discussion and encourages deeper reflection as opposed to close-ended or yes or no questions.
So let me just ask you, Victoria, what process did you follow in changing the wound dressing?
So I introduced myself to the client and then I told him that I would change his wound dressing. But I wasn't able to explain the procedure itself anymore.
So can you share with us why did you not do it anymore?
So since we do this every day, I assumed that the client already understood what was going on, but I do understand that it's part of the protocol. So from now on, I would remember to explain the process itself again.
Use silence. Stay silent after the facilitator asks a question to allow the participants to process and internalize the question and formulate their responses.
So in your opinion, how do you think we can improve the process of wound dressing? Yes, Nicole.
I think since we do this procedure regularly, we need to prepare the dressings, medicines, PPE, and other materials the day before. So we'll have a shorter preparation time. So that way, our clients will also not get restless and impatient while waiting.